Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Tool to Play presents Still Got Game with Derek D. Smooth Nolan and Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
This episode of Still Got Game is brought to you by ThinkGeek and the Craft Beer Club. Hey now, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Still Got Game, episode 333. Still Got Game's official podcast of ToolToPlay.com. I am, as always, Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I am Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
And joining us later from the news desk will be Tiffany Electrify Nolan. What is going on, Joel Dude I Rock Albert? My friend, we're here another week in a row.
Back to back. And I've been grinding the shit out of Division. Harder than any game I've played in probably the last, I don't even know. Vanilla WoW?
You are an addict.
Yeah. It's got me. It's got me.
Nice.
Good.
Very nice. Well, I'm glad you can make it to the show then tonight.
Yeah, totally. You're literally taking time out of me grinding. I have it up on the second monitor, and I'm just like waiting. And I'm thinking like in between sessions, I might grind a little more. Like maybe you'll talk a little bit longer than normal on some of the things that you're going to talk about.
See, maybe I'll talk less and see if I can fix it.
No, don't do that. Do that. No reason.
We'll try to keep the show tight tonight, and we'll jump into the show proper. We'll start off with feedback from last week's show. Remember, if you want to leave us a voicemail, it will cut you off after a minute. Tatiana comments, I'm so honored you used my comment in last week's show. Anyhow, you asked what a podcast discovery party was. It's like a book club where everyone comes with a 5-minute clip of a podcast they'd like to introduce others to. The clip is played, then there's some discussion. This is repeated while drinking over a couple hours. The one I went to had about a dozen people.
Still don't believe it's a thing.
Someone's trying to make it a thing.
It's a thing. I mean, it might be a thing.
Someone's trying to make it a thing. That, of course, when book clubs first started, someone was like, that's not a thing. A book is something you read by yourself. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would like these kind of party.
No, I don't think it. Well, I also wouldn't put it into the party category.
Yes. Was it called a party? It's called
a gathering. It's a gathering.
Podcast discovery party. Yeah, they said party, but.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, you don't call it book club, book party. That would be weird and totally incorrect. But,
right.
Yeah, but so if there was a dozen people there, that means each person did a 5-minute clip. That's 60 minutes just of podcasts. And only 5 of that is a podcast that you like. So the other 55 are potentially bad.
You got to sit and listen to some assholes talk that you don't give a shit about. Yeah. Possibly about content that you don't care about either. Which is why I brought up last week, is it gaming related? She didn't really answer that. I'm taking it the answer is no. It sounds very generic.
Yes.
Like it's any podcast. So like, someone could be talking about a topic that you give 0 fucks about. And you got to sit there and listen to presumably idiots you don't care about for 15 minutes. Seems a little weird to me.
Yeah, the spectrum of podcasts out there is so huge. You can get a religious podcast, you can get like a This Week in Tech, you can get a Ignation, you get us, like
how to build a tree house, and then you got to listen about how you might even live in a place that has trees to build a tree house for, but you got to listen to a podcast in about 15 minutes. Makes no sense.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept, though, to say the least. We're glad that whatever way the circumstances worked out, Tatiana, we're glad that you found our show and you're here, and thank you for clarifying that. For our audience, it's weird.
Now, Blue's saying in chat that he would be like, it could be fun if they had the right podcast, and maybe that's true. Maybe it's like maybe all of these podcasts they're bringing to the table are super interesting, and everyone wants to listen to them because obviously ours is one of them. So then maybe that's possible.
Yeah, that's true. This could have been an all fun podcast night, and we're one of the 12.
Right, there you go.
It's like a battle royale of fun podcasts. Yep. All right, Faree's comments. Shit, bro, Fossas. You dropped a supersized show on us last week. The stuff that came after the show was as long as the show. Hella dope. All right. First off, this comment is the word show more than any other comment I've ever read.
It also has the word hella in it, which I don't think anyone's really said in like a hella long time. So it's kind of impressive. I feel like you pulled this comment from like 6 years ago, and just now you're putting it in the show. Like it's somehow you looked in your email and you got the numbering wrong. It's like 2012, and you pulled that and you brought it in the show.
Time warped in hella. Yeah, it's been a while since I've heard hella also.
Yeah, this guy's bringing it back. Can't stop.
You bring it back, Farees. But yes, lots of shows in the comment. I actually didn't notice until I read it out loud just how many times the word show was there. But yeah, it was pretty big last week. The show was short because we had very few new releases or news stories. but we talked for a lot afterwards.
Yeah, we did. Well, the Microsoft announcement was huge, and there's actually some movement on that as well. If you guys keep paying attention to it, it looks like the Rocket League stuff is ready to go. So as a throwback to last week's show, they're actually moving forward with that. Rocket League is ready to go, but it's just waiting on Sony.
Sony's the only one.
Waiting on Sony.
Rocket League's now got Xbox to PC play and PlayStation to PC play. It seems like it's Sony hanging this one up there, but
just as we predicted.
Yes. So good thing we talked about that last week, Farees.
Yep.
And last but not least, Vicious Vixen comments. Your show is the high point of my weekly commute to and from work. It's a short commute, so I can usually stretch an episode over 2 to 3 days. Thanks. Yeah.
Simple. To the point.
Yeah. Cut to the chase. Didn't use hella.
No hella.
Yeah.
It's a hella short commute.
Yeah. I feel like we're probably good car entertainment. I listen to other podcasts in the car, not this one. So actually I do. I lie.
You listen to yourself.
I listen to this show far too many times.
That's terrible.
When we
when this show is over, I forget about it literally, and then Monday rolls around, and I'm like, I gotta do this fucking thing again. I forget all about it, and then it's like Hitman saying like, let's not do the show, and I'm like, dude, that is an amazing idea, and that's the only time I remember the show, and then I gotta do the show.
Yeah, I listen to it when we do it. I listen to it when I edit it, and then I listen to it sometimes just because it's in my podcast feed.
Wow.
Yeah.
You mean you listen to it for fun?
I do, because you know what? Sometimes when things are going off the rails, I find myself laughing again in the car at just how out of control the hosts of this show are.
They do
sometimes
out of control.
Yes. They do. All right. Well, thank you all for that feedback. If any of you have awesome feedback like these guys, give us a call, 773-527-2961, or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. And in site-related news, I got nothing this week. Jay's got nothing. So we'll jump right into what we're playing. Joel, Dude I Rock, Albert, how much of the Division have you been playing?
I'm playing the Division. I'm cutting you off because I'm playing the Division. I love the game. It's I'll put it this way. I wanted to watch Daredevil this weekend. I had every intention of watching Daredevil this weekend, but I didn't because I just played like 40 hours of Division instead. It's mildly addictive. Mildly. But it's got a shitty end game. And it's one of those games where I've said it before, like where there's a lot of potential in the game, but it still somehow manages to make me want to play it, even though I really know that end game-wise there's not a lot going on. Feels like a Destiny drought, if you will. It's only been 2 weeks, though. But I gotta say,
it's a little early to go into the drought.
It's a little early. But I will say this. The devs have been so responsive to this game. It's like comparing it to how Bungie's reacted to bugs and fixes and things like that, to how Massive has reacted to those things, it's on like another level. You might wait 6 months to get a gun patched in Destiny. It's literally been 4 days since a couple of these things came out. They've got a new patch that's coming out tomorrow that's huge, fixes tons of concerns. So that's really, I think, what motivates a lot of people to keep playing, is the devs have heard what people say in Reddit and other forums, and then talked about it, usually like a week or two later, and then implemented it the following week. And to me, that kind of life cycle is really impressive.
That is not typical for Ubisoft published game at all. Ubisoft's like the fuck you publisher.
Right. If you ever told me that I'd be playing an Ubisoft game where there were bugs, I'd say, yeah, of course, it's Ubisoft. But then you told me that they fixed them? I'd be like, nah.
No. That's not what Ubisoft does.
That's not what they do. No, they just say wait for part 2, and then that'll be like, hopefully we've managed to fix some shit, but then also break some other shit, later on down the road. But no, Massive has been super responsive. They have seen where things have gone wrong. There's already a content patch after only a month that's coming out in April, where they're going to introduce their raids and stuff. So there's a lot going on in that game. And considering what we've heard of Bungie, how little, and literally we're told today to meter our expectations, which I got to say on a PR level is like the worst thing you could say. Like, guys, we have new content coming out. Don't get excited about it. It's like, what?
But I guess it's the thing where if you got to bleed, would you rather poke yourself with a pin, or you want to wait till someone cuts you? So you show the blood first. You're like,
I agree with that. Like, I totally, when I read it, I'm like, yeah, because we know that it's not going to be. Everyone's like, it's going to be 6 raids and a blah blah. I'm like, yes, you're an idiot for believing that. It's free content. Therefore, it will not be massive content. Everyone should know that by now. But it's just that we've gotten to this point where people are so hungry for content out of Bungie that now, like, they have to work to meet our expectations, to bring it down to a manageable level. It really speaks to how long we've gone without content and how bad it's really become. I think that's the thing that I really drew from the tweet today. It's a shame. It sucks, but it's a reality. And it makes me happy because that means I'll have time to actually play the Division. You know what I mean? So in a way, I was like, good. I'm glad it's going to be fucking PoE, which I hated out of all the content Destiny's ever released. I hated the most. If it is PoE, then I don't have to do it. I can just play a better game for a while.
You keep doing that. That's what you do. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right.
I'm excited with metered results for Destiny. So that's all I played this week.
And you still play. Yeah, still play. Still love it. Knowing that your light will increase too, and there's absolutely no reason from this point possible to even play, right? Like there's no advantage to play.
There's always an advantage to play. Your light will increase, but there's never anything that says that they're not going to make these weapons kind of like they did the first time around, where you could bump the light level on your existing shit. You might as well deck yourself out and see what happens, right? There's no point not to.
I will say, like, if you're looking to min-max and get certain pieces of like gear that you might not have, even if your only reasoning for that is to eventually bump that light level up when the new stuff comes. And then of course, like I always say, like raiding is fun regardless. I will raid if people want to raid. I'll go raid because it's
Yeah, I enjoy raiding even when it's like you're fucking banging your head against the wall. It's still fun hanging out with your buddies and having a good time. So.
Yeah, totally.
All right. Well, why don't we hop on over the new releases? It's a light week on new releases. Only one out this week. The first and only new release out this week is a multi-platform release, and it's Trackmania Turbo. And this is out for the Xbox One, the PS4, and the PC. This is the latest in Ubisoft's popular Trackmania series, and the first one to hit console since 1999's Trackmania Wii, which was a piece of shit, but they needed something for the Wii. Like the other Trackmania games, the focus is on stunts and not just boring technical driving that we all hate. It features over 200 tracks and a slew of multiplayer modes, including this time a brand new kind of co-op multiplayer mode where two people drive the same car. I'm not really even sure how this works, but it's definitely a way to get co-op play in a racing game in an interesting new way. Also, for the first time in this console generation, split-screen racing is back with this game. We're up to 4-player split-screen racing, which is fun when you have people over and you just want to bang out a mindless stunty racer and not a sim racer. There's no early review scores out for this yet, but I'm sure it's going to do really well. Trackmania is super popular on the PC. They're going to be bringing the track into this and everything else and track sharing. I played a little bit of this on PC a couple years back at the office with Esgreth and always had a good time with it. It's a super fun racing game. It's my kind of racing game because it's not racing. It's just PC game stunts. It's like fun. There's fucking jumps. There's loop-de-loops. Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, it's weird that it's never really translated well to console. I think it's always been popular on PC, but I don't think it's ever really. I'm wondering how this will translate, if the popularity will be there when it makes it over. I don't know that it will. It's odd because it suits console better in a way because it's got the more arcadey sort of relaxed atmosphere of doing the racing.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm not sure why it didn't make it over until now.
I mean, I know the only reason I know it's popular is because every time we go to E3 and they announce shit, people freak out. And I'm like, who's playing this game? Like, apparently all these other people are playing this game.
80-90% of the crowd, yes.
Right. Yeah, it's weird.
It's like World of Tanks.
Yes, exactly. It's like
the game that billions of people play, but we know none.
Like, you've never met one. It's the weirdest thing. Like, did you know 2 million people play this game? You're like, I don't have any friends that have even mentioned this game. Who is playing this fucking game?
Yes. Yep. It's crazy.
Yeah. Crazy shit.
Yep. All right. If I get in a lull, I may pick it up. Because I enjoyed it on PC, and it's one of those games, if it was on the Xbox and I was bored and I could just fire it up without even getting up.
You've been in a lull for like 8 months. It's called Destiny with no content. You haven't picked up any fucking game. You're telling me you're going to pick up this game? No.
Oh, no, I picked up games. I just haven't played them.
Right. Don't unwrap that. It's games that you use to store like cold beers on.
Oh, no, they're all digital. So
right. You don't even have a wrapper.
No, I don't even have anything to show for it.
Just haven't even booted it up. It's one button you got to press. You haven't even pressed the button.
Nothing to show for it. Yes. All right, Jay. Well, on that, why don't we hop on over into gaming news? What is going on tonight, Tiff?
Not much. How's it going, guys? Jay was already ready to steal my first story here, talking about Destiny update already.
Mm-hmm.
I see how it is.
he kind of skims the surface, and you can
I know.
that deep
Skip
dig.
the like a
I know. I almost jumped in there and said, "Whoa, hold up!"
It's
But then he backed off, and it
foreplay.
was
I don't
okay.
want to jam it in right away. I want to
Yeah.
slow roll that shit.
I
Slow
gotcha.
roll.
I'm
Slow
a
roll
romantic.
it. All right, first story.
Destiny Spring Update arrives on April 12th, and this comes from Joystick X and Gadget. Bungie hasn't been shy about teasing Destiny updates in between The Taken King and its sequel, but what are those going to look like exactly, and when are they arriving? The studio isn't spilling all the beans just yet, but it's now offering a few clues. As part of a multi-post preview, Bungie has revealed that Destiny's first big post-TTK update, aka version 2.2, will launch on April 12th with at least a few sweet offerings. There's a new quest that revolves around the mysterious Blighted Chalice strike, as well as an additional player versus environment challenges. Also, you can anticipate a smattering of new and updated gear, Crucible updates, and an increased maximum light level with rewards to match. As mentioned in the past, the April update is free so long as you have TTK, Taken King. You won't be paying for a costly season pass like you did last year. The catch, as you may have noticed, is that there's no mention of new maps, enemies, or other Meteor content additions. While that was expected, it leaves this update appealing primarily to serious fans, Derek, who need just a bit more content to keep them coming back. So what do you guys think of this? Is this enough to keep them going in between, or
No.
I think if you
Only Derek. Like, this is the thing.
only Derek? Yep.
And here's the problem. People have been leaving. There's one thing that I think people need to understand, which is that people have been leaving Destiny in like droves at this point. The Division has completely eclipsed Destiny at this point, which is fine. It's a 2-year-old game. There's no reason to like think Destiny should be as popular. That's totally fair. But they've got to maintain interest until September.
Yeah.
And that's the really scary part when you start to put in how much content you're going to get from this and whether that will be able to hold you off until September. Now, if you're a huge fan, I think the answer is probably yes. If you're a fan, which is probably more like me, the answer is almost unequivocally no, because there's really no point. If it's a PoE, this is what we've talked about, which for our listeners that don't know, that's Prison of Elders. For me, which is arguably one of the worst content pieces they put out. In fact, when they put out PoE, I quit for almost 4 months until new content came out. If it's that, I just don't see people being able to ride along from April all the way till September. And that's even if we really believe they'll be able to get this new other content in September out at that time. I'm hoping that's the case, but I don't know. I mean, really, honestly, how do you feel about it? Really?
I think we're going to see some sort of interim content announced at E3. That's
you're crazy. You're fucking crazy.
No.
Listen, at this point, because of how the fans are they're ape shit. I will say I haven't seen fans this pissed and like desiring content this much in a long time. I think if they had anything to stave off that, it would be in their best interest to at least tease it. Like,
that's
and
what
we
they did.
may have some stuff possibly in June.
They keep teasing it. They're like, we got stuff that's going to be coming all year long. That's how you have to tease it. You can't give dates.
Dude, they've said that since November. All we've had is TTK. It's been 8 months at this point to even believe that there's extra spattlings of content is, I think, a little bit like cultish. You know what I'm saying? Like at that level, you got to think like you're putting way too much faith in this company.
I know. I guess I just want more out of it.
You're right. To me, that's the saddest part. And that's the one thing I think we both agree on. I thought TTK was one of the best raids ever. In fact, people have argued that Vault was the best raid. I think nostalgically maybe it is, but I think in terms of mechanics and really pushing the raid game play, TTK is the best. And I don't, again, not because I think the raid is so much cooler, but pushing mechanics, what players can do and what they can do within the environment, TTK wins out in that respect.
No doubt.
And I think that, to me, is what's so depressing about this, is that I'm not sitting here saying I want to not play Destiny. I do. But it's like, it's a bummer because so many friends and people that I raid with and everyone is just like, they're finally, I think, tired of it all. Yep. And the Twitter piece we got today from Irk, which basically said, meet our expectations, I brought it up at the top of the show, is a blow to the super fan and the fan alike, just knowing that they've wished this reality. They've tried to wish this reality into existence, but it's not going to happen. It's going to be, assuming a PoE style piece of content with a couple quests and this and that. And then to think that that's going to last to September, I just think is like fucking crazy. I mean, I just think it's crazy.
I guess we'll see on Wednesday. We'll see what they show off and start to meet our own expectations.
Even Hit shaking his head. I swear Hit plays more Destiny than most of us. Maybe not you, but
he plays more. I don't play that much Destiny anymore.
That's true.
We get a lot more TV shows done now that I'm not playing Destiny like 7 days a week. Like I play it every week, but I don't play it every day.
You'll play it every day.
I've metered my own Destiny.
And not because you wanted to, simply because there's not enough to keep you doing anything every day.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that's part of the problem. But anyway, it's great news that it's finally here. Whatever it is, I think it'll bring people back. If not, just for them to like spend the week or two, which is what I kind of think will take people to get through the content. Usually, if it's like a PoE or quest, it'll be about a week. And then once they figure out that it's just going to be a light grind, they'll probably end up seeing people leave. And then for perfectionists like yourself and even me, I'll probably grind the light level up and then I'll be done. So I'm thinking it's going to take a light level grinder, maybe like a month at max.
Yeah, that's what I figured, which puts us right in time for the next announcement.
For September. Okay.
Yeah. All right. I guess we're all sad about this.
All
right. Next story.
Xbox survey hints at possible digital trade-in scheme, and this comes from Gamasutra. Microsoft is flirting with the idea of a digital trade-in scheme that would let Xbox owners sell back their digital purchases for a slice of store credit. As spotted on NeoGAF, a recent Xbox customer survey asked if console owners would be interested in trading in digital games for 10% of the purchase price. So, let's say you picked up a digital release for $60, you'd get $6 back in store credit to put towards another purchase. Although users on NeoGAF seem receptive to the idea in general, most admit they're put off by that 10% figure. Other questions in the same survey asked participants what they dislike most about digital titles, how often they share their games with others, further implying Microsoft is interested in making its online store a more appealing proposition. So what do you guys think of this? Is that enough to trade in 10%? $6 on a $60 game?
I saw Pactor tweeting about this today, and he said he basically called out the all the Microsoft bigwigs on this because it's a slippery slope. What you're asking people to do now is you're asking them to sell back a license.
Right, not a physical copy.
And you're getting so little. Like, we make fun of GameStop. Like, this is
GameStop.
Like, this is $6 out of 60. This is not only is it a lowball price, but the whole concept that not Microsoft alone, but everybody uses for digital downloads. You're not buying the game. You're buying a license for the right to play the game and blah, blah. So it doesn't seem like a good idea, but
it does feel dirty. And when I read it, I was like, it feels a little dirty. I will take the flip side, at least from Microsoft's standpoint. And I think what they're really doing is trying to get people to at least have the feeling of, well, I hate buying physical copies, but the one good thing about a physical copy is I can sell it back and at least get some money. And a lot of people are like, they stick to that. That's like their sticking point of like why they still have physical copies. So I can see the desire for them thinking of it as sort of an enticing thing that you can now do with digital downloads to get more people onto that so they can finally get rid of physical media, which I think is ultimately what they want to do. And I think I want that to happen too. So I see the reason, but you're right. Like, it's no money. And it's, again, the one thing me and you have both agreed on with GameStop is it's such a little amount of money that I don't even want it. Like, fuck you for insulting me about my $60 game. You're giving me $6 back. I don't even want the $6. I don't want it.
As a bone, yes.
It's like right. Like, is that really? What am I going to do with that? I can't get a new game from you unless I turn in, 10 of those games to actually get my money back to buy one new game.
That's insane.
That's insane.
No, Pactor's tweets on this make a good point. He says, Microsoft playing with fire, planting the seed that they would even consider credits for trade-in of digital game rights, calls out Aaron Greenberg on that tweet. Then he goes back and says, the digital trade-in problem is that digital files are not owned by the user, merely a license. Microsoft can allow for its IP, but not for third-party IP.
Right.
So he's picking out all the points that are going to make this huge trouble. I
actually agree with Tiff in chat. And Tiff, I would almost wish you'd speak to it too. But yeah, the idea that like I can give it to someone to me is far more important than the trade it. I mean, I think that's probably the
let
best
me transfer the
thought
license. Yes.
Yeah, I don't want it anymore. My brother wants to play it. He should have to sign into my account to play my game. It's my game, but I don't want it anymore. I want to give it to him. Do a transfer, and then maybe do a blackout, right? Like he can't transfer the game once it's been transferred once for
6 months,
30 days, 60 days,
a
a year. I don't give a shit. But give him a blackout period so people can't just willy-nilly. And maybe then that way there's value once again introduced into the digital downloads. And you're not insulting people. Then it actually makes them believe that they do own that license and that it is transferable because they bought it. And that, to me, that's the weird part. But yeah, I mean, I think that's the best idea right now.
Yeah, that is a great idea because the way that Pachter points it out, and he's a lawyer by trade,
Right.
He points out that there's a law against doing that to other people's IPs. You can't do so. Although it seems like a great concept, except for the super shitty low trade-in value, it's not even remotely legal to do that, except for first-party games. So
Yeah.
but Tiff's idea, fantastic. Let me transfer that license to someone else.
Get her on that.
Let's start up a store.
Right.
Yes. All right. Next story.
Xbox One's price drop to $300 starts today, and this comes from GameSpot. Microsoft's spring sales starts today with a price cut on new Xbox One hardware. As announced previously, all Xbox One systems are marked down $50 for the duration of the event, meaning you can get a new console for as low as $300, and that's USD. Microsoft has not said when the deal will expire, so if you're interested, you may want to act sooner rather than later. If you already have an Xbox One and are looking for some new games, Best Buy and GameStop are offering Gears of War Ultimate Edition for just $10. Play the game before April 11th, and you'll receive early access to the Gears of War 4 multiplayer beta. Also, starting tomorrow, March 22nd, Microsoft will roll out a wider spring sale for games, movies, and TV content through the Xbox Store. Microsoft isn't disclosing its exact sales just yet, but titles such as Fallout 4, Halo 5 Guardians, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Far Cry Primal, and Rainbow Six Siege will all be discounted, in some cases by more than 60%. Backwards compatible Xbox 360 games will also be marked down in the sale period. In all, the spring sale will include more than 150 offers. So what do you guys think? Does this seem like a good sale? What are we going to see from are we going to see anything from Sony in response to this?
Oh, yeah.
They've had their sale going on now for, I don't remember what theirs is called.
I can't remember what theirs is either. But I mean,
they've had one going on for like 2 or 3 weeks now where they've been deep discounting stuff. So this is a good shot across the bow from Microsoft being like, hey, we're going to have a spring sale too. Oh, and by the way, we also cut our console price by $50.
Yeah, to me, that's what they've always done is at least try to stay under or matched or under Sony. Sony's rarely gone under Xbox. It's the same thing when you're a trailing system like Xbox is. You've got to at least be one better than the competition if you want to stand a chance. And that's what they're doing, which is awesome for consumers. This is why, as much as we've always talked about having one system and not having to deal with this back and forth bullshit, this is always why we need it. We do not ever want a scenario where Sony goes out of business, nor do we want a scenario where Xbox goes out of business. This is the worst thing that could happen to us.
Competition helps the consumer.
Competition makes it cheaper for us. The best thing we could ever get out of it is that, again, Microsoft threw down the gauntlet and will allow them to play together. That's the best we're ever going to get. Yeah. But at least until then, we can get these low costs during these battles. So, I don't know. I mean, it's really, from what they're saying in terms of the discounted games, they're all AAA titles. I actually kind of looked at
fairly recent titles, too.
All recent. Rainbow, right? Far Cry Primal is almost
that's like 2 weeks old, 3 weeks old. Yeah.
Yeah. I still haven't played Fallout 4. I wouldn't mind picking it up for next to nothing. If I can get it at a 60% discount, I totally would buy it. So yeah, I mean, at least they're aggressive because it used to be where their discounts were, games like Halo 2 is on sale. Yeah, and you're like, what, dude? No, it's over.
And the other part of this is these are sales that actually people like you and I can take advantage of, because usually the sales that you see are all physical copies in stores. Go to Best Buy's got this discounted $40, and this those of us that do digital downloads, you go to the Xbox store and everything's still $60, and you don't pick it up. So finally discounting this stuff on the Xbox store is really what most of us are looking for. We want
that's very true.
To download it on the cheap, just like the people that bought physical copies do. We want all the benefits of having it be digital. So
we want our Steam sale, man. Everyone wants their Steam sale. And we've talked about this from the very beginning, years ago when Xbox One first came out. That's the one thing they're competing against when it comes to PC in the digital realm is like, Valve is really awesome at their discounts. When you get a Steam sale, you literally can buy like 80 games and like spend $4. That's fucking great. And, you know, hopefully it looks like more of this is finally coming to digital downloads because they know that it drives sales. There's a reason Steam does it. It's not because they like to lose money. They're not a fan of that. Brings you into the environment, makes you conscious of buying games digitally, and makes it more likely that in the future you will buy a digital game. So it works out well. And I hope
you sell a lot of games cheaper is better than a very few games more expensively. That's that supply and demand curve that we all learned in college. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there's a point where a gamer like me, this is why Steam works so well. I'll buy 0 games, none. Yep. I don't want any piece of game. And then Steam sale rolls around.
Steam sale comes out, and that's why we all have these giant libraries on Steam. And we've never played the game.
And never play a game. No, I mean, it's just...
We cost them nothing, but we spent money.
Exactly. Yes. So, yeah, it's the proposition is there. It makes a lot of sense for them. The one thing is, Squatterbug is saying that he wishes that the Pro controller would be discounted. I don't think you'll likely see that for a long time, since demand, in this case, what Derek was talking about, is so fucking high that there's absolutely no reason to discount the price.
I'll tell you, Squatterbug, if you have a problem with the price, it is worth every penny. I got mine at launch, loved it. Tiff wanted one for Christmas. They weren't available at the time. I bought a fucking Elite console to get her one for Christmas. She loves it. And one of our youngest boys spent $150 of his allowance last week, 2 weeks ago, to pick one up for himself. And
wow.
So this thing
they're just great products. They really are. They're expensive. I don't think anyone would argue that.
It is not a toy. It feels like a professional piece of equipment. It's worth every fucking penny.
I think that really is. You're so right on that, saying it feels like that's the thing. When you put it in your hands, you verse it. I will pick up. So I've got this one that came with the white. I bought the white Xbox One. I don't know why.
Wow.
I wanted another.
So hit.
Right. So this one, I mean, this thing feels like paper mache when you compare it to the actual Elite controller. And it's so interesting because you've been playing with this thing for a long time now. It's weird. You pick up the Elite and it's like it feels like a brick in your hand. And then you try to pick this up. You're like, too light.
You never noticed how much of a piece of shit it was until you felt something big. It's like being unplugged from the Matrix.
Yes, there you go. That's exactly what it is. That's their slogan.
Yep.
So anyway,
the Matrix.
A little off the rails there, but I just wanted to...
you were screaming.
I'm such the proponent of this controller. Like, I feel like they should give us money. Because everyone always asks, like, I don't want to buy it. It's expensive. It's worth the money to me. If you're a gamer and that's what you do with your time, whenever you have that time, buy the controller.
It's worth every penny.
Yeah, but are you using the paddles and are you swapping out the thumbsticks? Yes. You use the paddles.
Yes. So, just as proof of concepts. So I use one raised, one not for gaming.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Nice.
And then I use the 2 trigger paddles in the back as well. I don't use all 4.
You use the 2 short ones, right?
But I use the 2 shorts, yes.
So when I use them, I use the shorts and not the longs. And I actually put the 2 shorts both on the left-hand side.
I could see that too. You had to have 2 quick access ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only problem is I slip and hit the longs, and so I can't have that.
Yes, that's why I can't have the longs either. If they sold a kit with 2 more shorts, I would pick it up in a second.
Yeah, and I've seen people like literally offering to buy other people's short paddles off of them. It seems to be a thing that actually consumers are all in agreement with.
Someone needs to be 3D printing this shit and selling them.
Totally. It's not a bad idea. Short paddle sets.
I might sell mine on eBay. Anybody want them?
I'll take them.
I don't use them at all. I just like the weight of the controller. I could care less about the extra paddles.
You don't care about the extra. Now, do you use the different size thumbsticks or no?
I'm using the concave ones.
No, she's using the normal Xbox style ones. Yeah. So Jay's, you're using the long one on your aim stick, right?
Oh, okay.
And a short one on your move stick.
That's actually yes.
So the long one's on your aim stick. Yep.
Because it's easier to snipe that way.
Yep.
Yeah, I just didn't really care about all the bells and whistles. Like, I just like the weight of it. It feels good. It's easy to play with for a while. Like, it doesn't slip out of your hand with the nice grips on the side.
Yeah.
No button presses missed, which my whole problem in Destiny was always the double tapping the bumper to do my jumps. And on the normal controller, you double tap that thing, and half the time that second click doesn't register.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. And on the Pro controller, it registers every fucking time. I've never missed my jumps fucking on Daughters or Oryx, I'll tell you.
That's their tagline. Xbox Elite controller. Never miss your jumps. Done. I like that this video cast turned into an epic long sales pitch for the Xbox One Elite controller.
Which we get nothing for, but
no money for
I would sell
no money
thing
for that.
till I'm blue in the face, though.
Totally.
I would do a whole show just about it. How awesome!
Next week, guys, we're gonna do a whole show. You gotta watch the video because it's gonna be just me showing you the controller over and over and over again.
We'll take it apart. We'll put it together.
Right.
Right. Now, Jay, for the D-pad analog, do you use the cool disc or do you use the traditional pad? Oh, yeah.
Disc.
I use the cool disc too.
Yeah, I do use the cool disc. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, with a D-pad, honestly, it doesn't matter. I just think the disc is cool, so I put it in there.
Yeah.
Don't really care. Like, it doesn't help me in any way. It's not.
It's helpful for games where you have to kind of go to those odd corners.
When you want to
selection menus. Yeah.
Just roll your fingers there and
Yep.
That's true. Yep.
Good stuff.
But Derek wouldn't know that because he doesn't play any of those games.
Oh my God,
Derek doesn't play any games.
I play all the games.
He plays one game.
All right.
A game.
Next story.
This week's What the Fuck story. BioWare reveals name of secret new IP and no one notices. This comes from IGN. BioWare Senior Director of Creative Development, Alistair McNally, has revealed that he wore a t-shirt that revealed the name of the Mass Effect developer's secret new IP at GDC last week, and no one noticed. He tweeted, "Also, it was fun to walk around GDC 2016 in a t-shirt with our new IP on it, and no one batted an eyelid." The news has sent many, including those on the BioWare forums, scrambling for pictures from the conference that might include McNally and his suddenly famous apparel, but none has yet been found. The new game was announced in a trailer at E3 2014 and is being developed at the company's Edmonton studio, while Mass Effect Andromeda is made in Montreal. Ex-producer Casey Hudson explained that the studio aimed to tell contemporary stories, and yet we want to build a world that is as big and as imaginative as anything we've ever done before. BioWare's last new IP, Shadow Realms, a 4v1 action RPG developed by the company's Austin studio, was canceled last year. Earlier this month, BioWare pushed back the release of Mass Effect Andromeda to Q1 2017. So what do you think about this? This guy just parading around GDC in this t-shirt and no one notices?
That is so crazy.
I wonder if people were like, cool t-shirt, bro.
Here's the thing, though. I read this early this morning, and he's like shocked that no one noticed. Look, if I had a shirt that said pencil lasers on it, right? You would just see that shirt and you'd be like, I don't know what pencil lasers is. So why would I think ever that it was an IP for a new game that you're making?
No, but
it's it's like almost arrogant in a way to be like, how'd you not know? It's so funny. No one knew about my new IP that no one's ever heard of before.
Okay. I see what you're saying, but at the same time, I saw the story that said that the shirt also said BioWare on it. Like it said BioWare.
So it's still not enough. Like
that's not enough.
No, did it say it like just on the back, real small? Like
I don't know. What if a shirt said Ubisoft on the arm and then said pencil pushers on the front? You'd be like, what the fuck is Ubisoft pencil pushers? That's where your mind should go.
I don't think so. No human being is like, you have to. No one is looking at shirts thinking, I'm going to get some context to a new IP today. All I got to do is go to the show and look at shirts all day and not look at all the games that are around me. And I will totally find out the new IP for some random developer. It's like, I'm sorry. It's funny in a sort of, haha, I'm laughing by myself at everyone scenario. But he's also not like a wizard and pulling the wool over everyone's eyes. It's like, dude, no one knew about your shirt, nor did they give a fuck about your shirt because no one is looking at shirts all day. No one.
Part of this could also be that no one knows who the fuck Alistair McNally is. Like that is a distinct possibility too.
Totally.
He thinks just because he's the senior director of creative development, he thinks like, oh, I'm hot shit. I'm all that in this fucking bag of donuts. Shows up there and no one even knows who he is.
Right, like he's so popular that no one can even find any photos of him at the show because no one gave a fuck enough about him to take a photo of him.
Well, this is probably how the BioWare forums go. All right, we got to find a picture of Alistair McNally. Anybody know what he looks like? Nope.
Right. Google him. Google doesn't even have a photo of the guy. He doesn't even exist. He's not a real person. Therefore, there are no photos of him.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, I read this as like, dude, like, how self-involved are you to believe that people would even for a second look at your shirt, know you're from BioWare, know you're the art director, know you got a new IP coming out, and make all those steps to get to that like realization. Oh my God!
Right, Jay, right. Let me spin this one way for you though. Let's say we're at Pactor's party.
All right. Okay.
We go talk to Morheim again.
Uh-huh.
He's wearing a short that says "Super Mega Dick" and it has the Blizzard logo on the sleeve. Do you?
Okay. To be fair, if it
ask him
said super mega dick, I would immediately see that and be like, "What the hell is super mega?"
Okay.
First
Okay.
of all, is that
All
a
right.
porno? What is happening right now?
All right.
Okay.
Legends of the Cock. No.
Ooh, even better.
Okay. No.
Even
Let's
better.
get rid of all the sexual stuff. Legends of the Battle, and it says Blizzard.
Legends of the Battle. Terrible name.
Yeah, horrible. Okay. Yep. It's a work in progress.
It's a new IP. We're trying things out. I understand. Right.
Legends of the Battle. Blizzard on the sleeve. Do you ask anything about his shirt?
Here's the problem.
Yep.
In that context, I A, know who Mike Morhaime is. B, he is in a level at Blizzard which is the highest, arguably. And C, I'm in a context of just chatting with him directly one-on-one because we're in this sort of, closed off environment where in a Pactor party like that, you're having conversation. In a GDC room, if he passed by, I didn't know who he was and knew nothing of that company, there's no way I would ever notice. That's the problem there. And maybe it's just a really shitty shirt design. That could be part of it too. Like maybe the shirt's
gray on black. Dark
gray
it's
on black, gray. It's like this big, says the IP name. I'm like, what's that?
Look, I snuck it in. It was on his shirt, and then later he shows the shirt, and it was like in 2-point font. It was under the armpit. Like, you have to look under my armpit to see the name. It's under here. Yeah, it's right here.
We put all our logos and shit. I don't know. Derek, what do you think about this?
Jay, this story has me saying, what the fuck? And on that, why don't we hop on over to the mailbag and voicemails? Blue Steel asks, is April 12th soon enough for the Destiny update to keep gamers playing? What are your thoughts on Ark Survival of the Fittest, the MOSA spinoff of Ark Survival Evolved? So I think we already covered the Destiny part, so we'll just go to Ark. Ark Survival of the Fittest is basically a total conversion of Hunger Games using the Ark engine. I'll tell you, these Hunger Games fucking total conversions they go like hotcakes. Everybody loves Hunger Games. Yes. Hunger Games is the hot game mode. It like where it was once capture the flag, and then eventually it became Team Fortress type things. Now the hotness is fucking Hunger Games. Go, start out, teams of 2, find your weapons, kill each other, finish, done.
I just brought up a game, and I was watching.
Yeah, we talked about the one that starts with C.
2 days ago, and that's literally what this is. And there's so many of them being made at this point. Like Ark doing
Minecraft.
That. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I think it's a great idea. I just think that what Ark is doing, and sort of what DayZ is doing, and then even H1Z1, I would argue, is doing this right with their battle royale. They've literally they've taken their game, the whole game, and broken a piece off specifically to market to the fact that everyone wants this game type right now. Like, that's got to really make your mind sort of wonder, because if you had a whole game that you built and everyone was like, dude, you got to do this. Everyone's doing this one thing. It's amazing. Everyone's doing this. You got to get on this. That they went so far to say, okay, like, we're not going to make a new game. We're literally going to break off a piece of our game, and just for the marketing value of that, and to separate it.
Yeah, and pitch on that. Blue Steel says that it's going to have prize money for it as well. So that's pretty awesome.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm a big fan of these Hunger Games type games.
I like the game. That's the thing, is I like it too. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah. Yep.
It always made me wonder, like, why weren't we doing this before? This is perfect because it's got a little bit of RPG element, obviously strategy, but it's in a nice condensed time frame, which I think is gamers nowadays don't want to do the 7-hour raids. They don't want to do that sort of thing anymore.
Give me a half hour at that time.
It's speed.
I guess the real question here is, after the Hunger Games movies came out, why didn't they fucking license their IP into a first-person shooter of the Hunger Games? Why was that not a thing? Why did everybody have to copy it and not call it the Hunger Games, but do the same fucking thing?
Yeah, it makes no sense, right? Like, they had this awesome idea that was its own at the time, that now everyone has just said, let's make a game type out of it. I mean, not that I want to sit around and play fucking Katniss Everdeen. I mean, I don't think that's like the most exciting thing for me to do with my time, but certainly they could have introduced more characters and had something fun like that to do. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just don't think. I think right now what we're seeing is an oversaturation of this, and that's why when I saw the question in blue, it's like, what do I think of it? It's not original in any way, shape, or form. It's smart for Ark to do because I think as a game, Ark is so generalized, right? Like you can do anything inside the world. Those games fare fairly well, but it's nice to have the finger on the pulse of what everyone else is doing. So I don't know. It's another company doing it.
Especially as it's easy to carve it out and make it its own standalone thing.
Yeah. So they have the engine. They have the functionality of how the weapons work and all that shit. So, it's kind of, I hate saying this, it's kind of a cash grab, but why not?
It's free. That's the thing. It's not a cash grab. It's free on Steam.
No. It's free. I get that. But these things are done for branding more than the games themselves. I mean, they're not doing it for free because they feel like doing it for free. No company works.
No. But
it gets you into the universe.
Hey, I like playing the Survival of the Fittest. Maybe I'll play Ark now. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Good shit.
I'm not surprised. Good shit.
All right. And Altius asks, with the Oculus Rift launch just a week away, the first consumer trade show post-launch will be PAX East next month. Do you think that getting the final Rift hardware into consumers' hands at the show will serve to bolster sales in what is now an expensive niche market? I don't know if it'll bolster sales, but it will probably be the first time that a lot of people actually get to use the shipping Oculus Rift headset with the speakers and everything else there. I don't know. It could be a tipping point.
Here's the thing. I have tried to pre-order like 6 times, and that's not to say that it's like anything's gone wrong when I've gone to pre-order. I'll literally be sitting around and like it'll be a Saturday, and I'll be like, I know I'm gonna buy a Rift. I know I am. And then I go to the page, and I'm like, I'm putting in my credit card number, and something happens. I don't know. Like 5 minutes into I'm about to hit the pay button, and I'm like, no. Like, not going to do it right now.
This is more expensive than any console I bought
right
the last
now.
20 years.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't even know if it's the money. It probably is. But something in me is waiting for something. I don't know what that is. But I would definitely argue that seeing the finished product, getting it in people's hands that can give more reviews, and then on top of that, hopefully talking more about the software, because that's the only thing I give a shit about.
Yeah, 30 launch titles. Yeah.
Right. What are those titles? What can I play? What can I use it for? I think those questions, once those are answered, those will be the things that really boost sales. People know at this point what the Rift is. They get it. They've heard that it's amazing when people put it on. They've heard that it's the next thing in technology. They've been told that over and over for the better part of the last 5 years. But at this point, no one's really explained to me why I should want it. I need to know what the games are and what I'm going to do with this expensive piece of hardware. So
when Joe Sixpack and his son or his daughter or his wife, they show up at PAX East next month and they wait in line and they strap on that Rift headset for the first time, that's probably going to be the thing that they're like, oh my God, I read about this. It sounded awesome, but the price was the thing holding me back. But now that I've tried it, $600, I'm in. Or $2,100 if you have to buy the new PC. Yeah,
that sucks. I mean, the good news for me, that's the thing. The good news for me is I have the PC. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. And that's the other thing. I know I'm going to buy it because the only friction there is buying the actual hardware of the Rift.
Yeah, the PC is the hard part. I haven't bought the PC yet. So.
Right. Yeah. Like, I mean, you haven't pre-ordered yet either, correct?
No, for that exact reason.
And that's a good reason. Like, I think that's a really great reason, especially considering that you probably shouldn't buy your PC until you actually buy the Rift, because you would want the absolute latest PC humanly possible before you go ahead and you make that purchase. So there's a lot riding on that. And I think, again, as a consumer, it's all about the games I play. The Xbox could be 15 feet tall, made of solid gold. I don't know. Could be whatever. If it didn't have the games on it, I wouldn't buy it. I don't care about a system at all. All the bells and whistles that Xbox adds into this white box, in my case, don't really matter to me if I can't play Destiny on it, or I can't play The Division on it, or I can't play Halo. So, yeah, man. I think that's the real question that needs to get answered. But still, amazing question.
Yeah, good question. All right. Well, if any of awesome questions like that from Blue Steel or Altius, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. You can also comment in this episode's thread in the Tool to Play homepage. And sponsors. Remember, by supporting our sponsors, you help support Still Got Game. ThinkGeek. Cut to the chase. We all order from ThinkGeek all the time. So if you're going to order from ThinkGeek, go to tooltoplay.com/geek first. You will get ThinkGeek's best possible offers and coupons by going there. Make your order. It helps the show out. The Craft Beer Club. If you're either interested in getting yourself 1 month, 3 months, a year of craft beers delivered every month with some pint glasses and some other fun stuff, curated craft beers, not just random shit off the shelf. Craft Beer Club's what you're looking for. You want to give it as a gift? Do that too. So if you're going to do it, go to toolplay.com/beer and order it that way. It helps the show out and you still get their best possible deal. So ThinkGeek, toolplay.com/geek, Craft Beer Club, toolplay.com/beer. Do it up and help the show out. And if you'd like to sponsor us, give us a call at 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@toolplay.com. You tell us what you're selling. We'll tell you what you're going to pay us. We'll sell it. You pay us. Boom. Done. Twitter us up. You can find everything Tool to Play related at twitter.com/Tool to Play. Everything podcast related at twitter.com/still_gut_game. I, king of the fucking internet, god of everything that's fucking holy, at twitter.com/Derek Nolan.
And you can find me at twitter.com/DudeNoRock.
Facebook the fuck out of us. Facebook.com/Derek Nolan.
Facebook.com/DudeNoRock.
And also twitter.com/Electrify. Facebook.com/Tiff Nolan. We also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Tool to Play. That is the place to find all of Tool to Play's archive video content, whether it's episodes of Still Got Game, whether it's episodes of Hits Motherfucking Hits, which is coming back next week, whether it's Tiff's immature interviews or whatever her show is called, whether it's our one-off stuff, whether it's Thick and Thin with LB and Duty featuring I6 Hitman. All of our archive video content goes there. So go to youtube.com/Tool to Play and click the subscribe button and hook us up there. Please rate and review this podcast on iTunes. We need 5-star reviews. We want them now. So go to iTunes, search up Still Got Game, give us a 5-star review, write a little something nice. Hey, these guys are gods. They're handsome. They talk about video games. They're super funny. Whatever it is, just write something up. Give a 5-star review. It will really help us out. We also have the Twitch channel, which those of you live here tonight know about, twitch.tv/Tool to Play. When you go there, that is where Tool to Play pushes out all of our live content, whether it's us, whether it's games, whether it's you name it, we push it all there. So there's 2 buttons down at the bottom. One says follow. That's a first start. Everybody does that automatically. That's just a click that just happens. You don't even fight that. Just click, follow. Now there's a subscribe button there. This one is the important one. This one costs you a little bit, not a lot. Not a whole lot at all. Like less than 2 cups of coffee a month. Less than 1 Starbucks a month sometimes. So go there. Click the subscribe button. Subscribe to the show. It helps us out. It gives directly back to us. You go through our advertisers. That kind of comes back to us. This is direct into our pocket. So hit the subscribe button. Help the show out. It would be super appreciated. Jay and I would love you. We'll even throw a custom shout out if you subscribe during the show when we're live. You subscribe, shit will pop up and be like, woo, a new subscriber has subscribed. Oh, and we'll be like, oh shit, it's Joe Blow. Yeah, Joe Blow. Thanks for subscribing. You're the man. Yeah, we love you. You want to see some nipple? Something like that. We'll do whatever it takes. But and Jay's rubbing one out, but you can't see him. But that's what he does it every time someone subscribes. So that is the way to help the show out. And please do it. So before we wrap up, I want to remind you all, join us each and every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, twitch.tv/Tool to Play. And on that, why don't we wrap this episode up? I am Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I am Joel Dude Rock Albert.
Oh, do you want to buy back my digital license for $6?
Yeah, sure, man. I got that kind of money.
Sweet, dude. It's a deal.